All right, welcome to the Duke and Dutch show. I am Duke, and my colleague Dutch is with us. It is finally not raining by me. I don't know how the weather is by you today. How are
Hot,
you doing?
hot.
Yeah, summer's almost here. Definitely feels like it.
So we got a pretty good show for you today. But there's a lot of topics to get into, a lot of cultural stuff, a lot of politics, some GTA news. But the first light topic we want to really get into is there's been the unveiling of an obese black woman installed in Times Square. Who does this depict? Nobody, it's just a general statue. Why is it here? Who knows? Apparently, it was inspired by Michelangelo's David, and I would say that they do bear a lot of similarities, being that they are both statues.
Yeah.
Communicate those inner worlds that we have, and sometimes we misinterpret with one another to try and create an understanding and basically
I believe this is the artist.
encourage empathy.
Oh, can't play that. We'll get copyright strikes for the music, I believe. But, I mean, it's bold and beautiful, and I can't think of why you wouldn't want a nondescript, not based off of anybody, obese black woman statue in the middle of Times Square, because,
Why not?
well, I think it invokes a lot of emotion, I guess. It's, I don't think it's a poorly made statue. I guess I'm not a statue critique or anything like that, but yeah, apparently it was inspired by Michelangelo's David. So and they are, like I said, they're similar. They are both statues. So if you're in Times Square, look for this statue. I don't got much more to say about that. We are moving on to another topic here, which is a bit of a tragedy. There was a shooting in Cincinnati where an 18-year-old lost their life, and there's been a lot of public backlash and outcrying, especially from the NBAs, saying that, I'm going to let the story play out first, and then we'll get into it. But essentially, this young man, let me go back real fast. I'm so sorry. This young man right here, oh my God, I can't go back. This young man, Ryan Hinton, was in a stolen car with a gun, got chased down by the police, and was fatally shot, which, is sad. But I will let this play. This is the body cam footage. A lot of people are debating if it's justified or not.
Warning that can be sensitive.
Yeah.
The officer
Well,
is
it's not gonna
running,
show
so the
anything.
body camera is kind of jolting as the officer's running. What that leaves us with is a very blurred image, unfortunately. However, based on the officer's interviews, the officer who did discharge his firearm said that when the individual came out between the dumpsters, he had the firearm in front of him. He was in like a bladed position, and it was pointed at the officer. And he felt threatened for his life, and that's why he discharged his firearm.
The chief said the suspect was in a bladed position. It's an important distinction, and here's what that terminology means. Let's pretend you're the officer and I'm the suspect. I come running through these dumpsters. When I come out on the other side, I'm pointing my gun at you in a bladed position, threatening you theoretically. I do not need to turn to you and square up in order to threaten you with my gun.
So as you can see here, what visibly, I think would be the gun. The body cam's a little blurry. There's a lot of stuff going on around it. But again, as I said, this young man was with a couple of other people in a stolen vehicle, has a firearm on him, and obviously pointed it at police. Whether this was intentional or not, probably was unintentional, but this could have been avoided by one, not stealing the car, two, not taking the gun with you when you fled from the car, and three, not pointing the gun at the officer.
Not having the gun in your hands.
Yeah, not having the gun, or just having better friends, and just not stealing cars. It's not. But
Yeah.
All right, well, there will now be a full investigation with the Citizens Complaint Authority and the Hamilton County Prosecutor, which is when we will get a determination of whether the officer acted appropriately. At this point, the chief is implying that he did. Kyle?
All right, David, thank you so much. Of the other 3 men who ran from police, 2 are now in custody. They are DeAnthony Bullocks, 19 from OTR, and Jarrell Austin, 18 from West Price Hill.
So, I don't know. I'm not an expert on anything, but from the body cam footage, if the gun was angled at the cop, which it looks like it was, or even if it's not, it's like, you're making a split-second decision. You see a suspect has a weapon. They're fleeing out of a stolen vehicle. Unfortunately for this young man who, I would say it's a tragedy. He made some bad choices and he obviously lost his life for it. But I would say it's justified. It seems justified to me.
Yeah, it's don't do the crime, and then you won't have people chasing you.
Well, I mean, like I said, there's many things that he could have left the gun in the car, and he probably would have got tackled to the ground and got cuffed and whatnot. He probably would still be alive though. But it is sad. It's like, I was 18 years old once. It's like I did a lot of stupid stuff that you really shouldn't be doing. Never to this extent, but kids are gonna do stupid stuff. And I know people are, in the eyes of the law, he's 18, he's an adult. But you're 18 years old, you're still a stupid kid. I mean, let's be honest. No, nobody hasn't done stupid stuff. But if this was the end of this story, we wouldn't be covering it, because this is a pretty, although it's unfortunate and it's tragic, this is not really so far out of the realm of stuff that we see pretty much all the time. However, this story has legs because of how this young man's father, Ryan Hinton's father, Rodney Hinton Jr., responded to this. Allegedly, I'll let the news article play.
News.
And that breaking news, the family of the 18-year-old shot and killed by police last week is speaking out tonight. They say even though Ryan Hinton had a gun that day and was in a stolen car,
oh no, I think this is his grandfather speaking. Yeah, let's get into that first.
He didn't deserve to die. Thanks for joining us here at 4 o'clock. I'm Cherie Palello.
And I'm Ashley Kirkland.
I would agree with that. I don't think he deserved to die. I think he just made a lot of unwise decisions that led to his unfortunate death. But,
That's a fair statement.
The family and their attorney held a news conference that ended just a short time ago. WLWT News 5 anchor Mike Dardis joins us now with more. Mike.
Hi there, Ashley, and hi, Sharia. 18-year-old Ryan Hinton shot and killed by police Thursday in East Price Hill after that stolen car chase. Cincinnati police say it was Ryan's father who hit and killed that retired Hamilton County deputy the very next day.
Oh, we're going to get into that later.
In what appears to be a revenge killing, but the attorney for the teenager Ryan offered his condolences to the family of the deputy who died, but made it very clear today this news conference that ended just in the last 30 minutes was only to discuss the deadly incident with Ryan. Several family members were at that news conference, including Ryan's grandfather, grandmother, brother, and cousin, among others. They say they watched this police body camera video of the Thursday incident. Police say Ryan was with 3 others in that stolen car. They all got out to run. Within a matter of seconds, Ryan was shot and killed. The family acknowledging again that Ryan was in the stolen car with a gun, but they say it should not have been a death sentence.
What I seen was 2 persons made a mistake. My grandson made a mistake being there, and the officer, he was trying to get back to his family too. So that's what I seen. So it's not about revenge or anything. I had nothing against nobody.
Oh, you're wrong. Actually, we will very shortly find out. It very clearly is about revenge.
I'm so sorry, Ryan. I'm so sorry, Ryan. Just know he wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't supposed to be there.
He didn't have to be there. There was nobody making him get into a stolen car with a gun. Nobody made him do that.
That's what I was about to say. I highly doubt he was forced to be there.
Maybe in some strange, crazy circumstance, somebody did make him do that, but that would be pretty wild. But anyway, like I said, and the family's sad about it, obviously. And I think, did their grandson, their cousin, whatever, make a lot of bad choices? Definitely. But I think you can obviously still be sad. You can still have empathy. You can still, you lose a child, you lose a grandchild. I've never gone through that personally. I hope I never do. But obviously, you can say, hey, my family member messed up. They did something wrong. And you could still obviously be very sad about it. I mean, I think both things are fair. However, that's not the story, or that's not the twist this story is about to take. As it was alluded to earlier in this clip, there was a revenge killing by Ryan's father, Rodney Hinton Jr. Not on the officer who took his life, not even on an officer from the same sheriff's department or police department, but from a completely unrelated officer who was, I believe, was retired or semi-retired, who was directing traffic at a school. And 2 hours after seeing this footage of, his son being killed by police, he decided he was going to go take the first officer's life he saw. And
the father of an 18-year-old killed in an officer-involved shooting on Thursday. A suspect charged with aggravated murder. Here's ABC's Christiane Cordero.
Tonight, authorities say the shooting of an 18-year-old captured on police body cam is connected to the death of an Ohio deputy after that teen's father allegedly hit him with a car a day later. Prosecutors say
connected through father and son, not connected because this guy was completely unaware of this entire situation. He wasn't even from the same police department.
The attack was calculated and premeditated. Cincinnati PD responding to reports of a stolen Kia at an apartment building Thursday morning. 4 suspects then fleeing police. Among them, 18-year-old Ryan Hinton. Body camera shows Hinton fall as he tries to run away. Police say they heard a metal clinking sound they believe was a gun.
He's got a gun! He's got a gun! On your right! He's got a gun!
As Hinton emerges from behind a dumpster, authorities say another officer firing 4 or 5 shots.
So this is what we've already gone over.
He saw the suspect.
Which really you would think would be the end of the story, pending this investigation.
Yes.
But
just 6 seconds passed between when police arrived and gunshots rang out. Officials say they tried administering medical aid. Hinton was struck twice and died. Investigators saying this gun was recovered from the scene allegedly found in Hinton's possession. On Friday, a day after that shooting and 2 hours after the Hinton family reviewed the body camera footage, according to the family's lawyer, a driver crashing a car into a Hamilton County deputy directing traffic near a commencement ceremony, killing him. The suspect, authorities say, is Ryan Hinton's father, Rodney Hinton Jr. Hinton's attorney calling the officer's death a horrific tragedy. At his first court appearance today, Hinton walked through a room packed with law enforcement. He's now charged with aggravated murder.
Now, the FBAs are all coming out in droves saying this was an intimidation tactic. This isn't going to work. All the cops are doing this in solidarity to one of their fallen officers, as I believe they always do. If a cop is ever killed in the line of duty,
this is not a unique situation. They do this all the time. Yeah.
And this, for anyone to say, oh, this isn't a revenge killing, this is very clearly a revenge killing. Now, listen, I'm not going to take away from the father, who I'm sure is, distraught that his son was killed by police. And I get that. And, I want to have empathy for him, but it's like all your empathy kind of goes out the window when you randomly target some, just a random police officer who knows nothing about the situation. And your son, unfortunately, it looks like from what I can see from the body cam footage, was in the wrong. He's running out of a stolen car with a gun. And that's, I guess, worthy of revenge killing. And all the foundational black Americans are coming out and saying, oh, we need more men like this. It's like total tribalism.
With the Hamilton County Sheriff says the deputy's death was a tremendous loss. Hinton Jr. is currently being held on no bail. His bond hearing scheduled for Tuesday.
Which that was yesterday.
Unnecessary loss of life.
We do have an update on that about chaos at hearing. And there was apparently like a fight broke out at this hearing. For Ohio father accused of fatally striking deputy with a car after son killed by police. Rodney L. Hinton was denied bond during a hearing Tuesday. An officer said Hinton had viewed video of his son's fatal police shooting before the collision. Let's see. A judge ordered Rodney L. Hinton to be reprimanded with no bond in connection with the death of Hamilton County Special Deputy Larry Henderson. Hinton is charged with aggravated murder, pleaded not guilty. Before entering a plea, a commotion erupted outside the courtroom when the hearing was held. A man could be heard screaming, "That's my brother, that's my brother." Deputies immediately escorted Hinton out of the room, and then pretty much, we can't show the video because there's a whole fight that breaks out, or I don't know if it's like what YouTube considers a fight, but it's definitely unruly behavior. So everybody be calm, yada, yada, yada. And pretty much everyone was so upset that this guy, randomly took this officer's life because, this is the person who should be given a lot of grace. I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but essentially he had his bond hearing. He's not going to be released until trial, which I agree with that. I mean, this guy, obviously, he seems like, he's unstable. I understand the whole grieving aspect to it, but, you're a danger to the people around you. You murdered somebody you didn't even know, allegedly. And this was the officer here, Ohio Deputy Sheriff Larry Henderson, who was unalived when he was intentionally struck by a vehicle while directing traffic. Deputy Sheriff Henderson was stationed at the University of Cincinnati graduation when the incident occurred. The suspect deliberately ran over Deputy Henderson as an act of retaliation for the death of the suspect's son, who had been shot and killed by Cincinnati police the day before. The suspect's son had fled from a stolen vehicle while armed with a Glock featuring an extended magazine. We already know that. Deputy Henderson, 57, a proud veteran of the Marines Corps, dedicated an impressive 33 years of service to the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. He is survived by his wife, 5 children, who cherish his memory.
5 children and a wife now live without him because
obviously this father got emotional in the worst way and decided to take. This guy had nothing to do with the incident. He had no. Yeah. I believe he's actually from a different police department.
Yeah, no,
so he would have no idea
with the actions. Yep, it's a sad loss of life right there.
It's disgusting, really. And like I said, all the
5 children,
but all the FBAs
5 children no longer have their father because of this. That's sad.
It's completely senseless
because of nothing their father did.
No, it's all an emotional action trigger response to be like, and I get it, or I don't get it because I've never lost a child, and I can imagine how that would probably, make you go a little crazy, but it's like, this guy had zero to do with it. And even
no
if it was
control
under the
over
best
his
circumstances, it's like...
Clearly. He had no control over his emotions. It's okay to feel very upset and frustrated and angry and whatever you want to feel towards anyone.
Your son's in a stolen car. He's running from police with a gun.
No matter what feelings you have, it does not justify killing someone, unaliving someone.
No, definitely not. Ooh, there goes my mic. All right, but R.I.P. to Larry Henderson. I hope there's a GoFundMe or a GiveSendGo or something like that set up for the family members. And it's just tragic all around. Now, his father, he's going to spend most likely will spend the rest of his life in jail. This isn't going to bring his son back, and then now he's senselessly taking the life of somebody else. And everyone's like, "Oh, this is revenge." It's like I don't really see how this could possibly be revenge. It doesn't make any sense.
It's revenge against somebody that did nothing to him.
He's not Gary Plotch here. It's like, let's be honest. Yeah. Like, this is not that type of case. And I'm not one of these, altruistic. Like I don't I support police, but I'm not all like a back the blue no matter who type of person. It's like sometimes I think the police do mess up, and I think they should be held accounted for. But this is not. I don't think this is one of those cases in my mind. No. But the next case we're going to move on to, the next topic I want to talk about is, I think, a case where the police have grossly messed up. This man right here, I'm going to butcher his name. Mr. Patel, I'll call him because I can't say his first name.
That's your best bet.
Judge makes bond decision for man arrested in Walmart attempted kidnapping incident. And I would say, just from this article, or just from this news headline, attempted kidnapping incident is doing a whole lot of heavy lifting here. Like a lot. We're going to play this clip. And this story, this is one of these, Mahendra, that's his first name. I believe I'm saying that right. Mahendra Patel. A man who his attorney says was trying to help a mother in a Walmart near Atlanta is now in jail. He was in jail for 43 days. I believe he just got released yesterday. And apparently he was attempting to kidnap a child. However, if you look at the body cam footage, I don't know. I just don't see it.
Security footage.
Tonight,
security footage. Sorry, what did I say?
On Channel 2 Action News. It shows the moment a mom says a stranger tried to kidnap her son.
Can you hear this okay? This is like...
County. Yeah. The man's attorney agreed to share it with Channel 2's Courtney Francisco because she says it proves he's innocent.
He's talking with people. He's being friendly.
You are getting the first look at how Mahendra Patel's attorney plans to argue he's innocent.
This is a friendly older gentleman who is, you know, trying to help people, was asking for help at the Walmart.
Surveillance video from inside the Ackworth Walmart shows Patel walk in last month.
Shopping for Tylenol for his elderly mother.
As he walks the aisles, video shows him cross paths with this woman in a motorized wheelchair with a baby in her arms and a little girl under her feet.
She's pointing to where the Tylenol is.
Patel's back is to the camera, but as the chair moves forward, he appears to lean in. That's when the mother says he picked up her son. She did not respond to requests to comment on the new video, but told us last month.
He pulled him, I pulled him back. We're tug-of-warring.
And this video is very clear that that did not happen.
She says her client thought the kid was going to fall, so
I don't know. It's a little blurry, but I don't really see anything happening here.
It looks like what the news reporter was just saying. It looks like the kid maybe was stumbling or about to fall, and Patel tried to help.
It's too blurry to really make it out, but I don't see some. You know,
I'm assuming, but that's I think a fair assumption based off of what I'm seeing.
Video shows him back up. She points to something, and he moves in that direction.
If you're in Walmart and you see someone in need, you're just going to have to let them fall, apparently. You're just going to have to let them, you know, whatever happens, happens. We can no longer help handicapped people is what this is saying.
The mom says she doesn't need the wheelchair, but her kids wanted to ride it. She has trouble driving it, backed into shelves, and appears to run over her child's foot with it.
This man even jumped to help the child.
But it's fun.
Fell. That's what people do.
While that's happening, an employee helps Patel find the Tylenol. He holds it up as he talks to the mom on his way to the checkout counter.
Goes back to talk to the mom afterwards, saying, "Hey, that thing you told me where it was, I found it." Doesn't look to me. I assume this right here is the child. You can't really see it because of my.
As the police
I don't know.
said,
I don't see anything happening here.
He's using his debit card. He's talking with an employee here, paying for it in his own name.
He stops to talk to a worker before leaving, and police arrested Patel days later. Last week, a grand jury indicted him for attempted kidnapping, assault, and battery. He's been in jail nearly a month now. His attorney plans to ask for bond in 3 weeks.
This kidnapping of a minor bell was rung. Once that bell is rung, it's really hard to unring it. It's really hard to get that back and get him a bond.
Courtney Francisco,
So we don't know all the ins and outs of this case, but this is the mother here who says there was a tug of war over her son. Clearly, I mean, I don't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see a tug of war.
Yeah, this is a little more clear footage. Let's go look at this real fast.
The shopper in this video is accused of a terrible crime, snatching a little boy at Walmart.
Yeah, this video.
The mother's accusation was disturbing.
Did someone try to take you from mommy? Yeah.
Caroline Miller says it started when the shopper asked where he could find Tylenol at a Walmart in Atlanta.
It's over there. And as soon as I did that, that's when he just picked him up out of my arms.
What followed, she said, was a tug of war over the kid. She called 911.
I was in the Walmart and I had to rip my baby out of some other man's hands because he was trying to snatch him.
Someone trying to snatch your baby?
Yes.
56-year-old Mahendra Patel was charged with kidnapping and simple assault. But this newly released...
If you're out in public, do not look or talk to anybody. That is literally the safest thing you can do. Do not even make eye contact with people. This could literally happen to any person. Any person. This guy talked to somebody. He's been in jail for 43 days. And I don't understand why he's been in jail for so long, because you have the footage. I was just defending the police.
Here's the other thing.
Now I'm crapping on him.
The last video, it did happen with another person, a white gentleman, but apparently he wasn't trying to do anything to any of the kids.
I'm sure this happens all the time, and I blame society, and this woman can falsely accuse this guy. There will be no repercussions for her, even if footage comes out and says you completely made up this story. She'll get some slap on the wrist. This guy could go to jail for the rest of his life for attempted kidnapping. Nothing will happen to this person. Oh,
like the lawyer said, once that bell is rang, it's really hard to unring it.
I get that from that point, because obviously you want to take every
kidnapping. What I'm trying to say is,
but
the mother doesn't understand that. Like, you can't just say this and think, oh, it's not a big deal, or
well, who the hell,
especially
if
it's
knows
not
what's
true
wrong with her. But I don't even, I don't blame her so much. Why? I mean, I completely blame her, but like The police are supposed to do their due diligence. You have this footage that everybody
That's
can clearly see.
Issue.
I don't know. It's crazy.
Police surveillance tape appears to paint an entirely different picture, showing Patel asking Miller about the Tylenol, and you can see her pointing toward the drug aisle.
What is going on there? Because that is the point where she is alleging he was trying to grab her son and she was pulling him back.
Her children are sort of hanging off of this cart, and you see Mr. Patel almost lean in to help. And then moments later, literally split seconds later, she starts to rise to point out the Tylenol. Then within 1 or 2 seconds after that, you see her in a screen laughing with another gentleman.
The tape shows that
this was right after. It doesn't seem like she's in emotional duress at this moment.
Yeah.
Minutes after she claimed he tried to kidnap her son, there was a subsequent encounter where Patel shows the woman he found the Tylenol. He then checks out, stops to talk to an employee, then leaves.
I think it's crystal clear from the video. You can see that there's no assaulting conduct. You can see there's no battery. You can see he doesn't actually take the child from the mother.
Yeah, there's no evidence of any of that.
What do you do in this situation? I mean, imagine this guy. He had an innocuous trip to Walmart. He went to buy Tylenol for his mother. And 3 or 4 days later, police are banging on his door saying he's an attempted kidnapper. I would look just like this in my mugshot because I'd be like, what the hell is even going on? What are you talking about?
I'd look worse than that. He doesn't look too irate. I'd be pretty irate.
I don't know if you want to be irate in your mugshot, but
going to jail for something I didn't do, I'd be pretty distraught.
The thing, and you held him in jail for 43 days, and this we're going to cover the story. He just got out, but you have the video footage. You can see that this woman is clearly lying, and yet for some reason this guy's got to sit in. What could his response be? I should never talk to anybody in public ever again. And I guarantee you, the woman who's accusing him, nothing will happen to her because nothing ever happens to these people, and it makes me sick. There needs to be. There's a kidnapper registry. There's SA registries. There needs to be false accuser registries. I'm so serious.
Yeah. 100%.
Man accused of, again, I'm going to say kidnapping is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. Toddler at Georgia Walmart released on bond. I don't. That's the other ridiculous. He's released on bond. This isn't a case. There's nothing here. Okay, gotta recenter. Surveillance video from an Atlanta area Walmart contradicts allegations. The shopper ripped the toddler away from his mother in a mobility scooter. Yes, it does.
Let's see. What's the video? Is that him getting released?
Probably is. Yeah. It's 9 minutes. You want to go through the whole thing?
No.
Granted bond for 57-year-old Mahendra Patel, released after spending 47 days in jail.
47 days in jail.
That's insane. Yeah,
57-year-old Georgia man facing charges of attempted kidnapping at an Atlanta area Walmart has been released on bond after spending 6 weeks in jail. A Superior Court judge of the Cobb County Judicial Circuit set the bond at $10,000 Tuesday morning. Patel was accused in March of ripping a 2-year-old away from his mother, 26-year-old Caroline Miller. He was charged with a criminal attempt to commit kidnapping, assault, and battery, according to court documents. And that's fine. You can accuse him of whatever. But, you literally have surveillance footage completely contradicting this entire thing.
Where's the innocent until proven guilty? That's just, I don't see that. There's no investigation.
I don't even think you need to go that far. Just, if you review the footage, it's...
There was no investigation, clearly, because if anybody had seen the
footage
before he was arrested...
Yet they kept the guy in jail.
Yeah, but he should have never been arrested based off of the footage.
Well, if you're going to make a claim like that, I could see arresting the person, but then, they've had this footage for a while. Why he's been in jail this long, I have no idea.
I'm not a cop, but last time I checked, you're supposed to get the footage, the actual evidence.
I would think you would need evidence, to do that. You can't arrest somebody who's purely off an accusation. Maybe you can. I don't know. Kidnapping, I'm sure, is a very sensitive thing. But once you have the footage, man, it's like, it doesn't look good for this. But I hope this guy sues them I hope he sues this woman into oblivion. I hope he sues the police
department. There's definitely a
lawsuit
coming his way. Or there's definitely a settlement coming his way.
His whole life has been uprooted because why? He asked somebody a question at a Walmart? How can you protect yourself against something like that?
I'm sure if he had a job, he lost his job due to not being able to work for 47. I mean, obviously, if they know the circumstances, maybe things will be different.
But you know how terrifying that is? I mean, it's like you could go up to anybody and just be like,
your
"Oh,
whole
hey,
life,
how's it going?" I start conversations with people.
Is your life just supposed to pause
all
for
over the
47
place.
days while you're in jail? You know, he could have lost his house. He could have lost his whatever. He could have lost everything in 47 days if somebody wasn't taking care of his.
And again,
assets.
what's the protection against this? You just don't ever look at anybody or talk to anybody in public. I mean, like,
I'm gonna be honest and talk from my personal experience. I very rarely will do anything for anyone out in public any day because of this type of thing. Because of too many things that you see in the news and just articles and just news reports of the innocent bystander getting wrapped up into something that they don't belong.
I socialize with people in public all the time. Now I'm second guessing it. I'm like, this.
I definitely reeled it back in. I used to be the guy that would hold the door for open, which I still do hold doors. Don't get me wrong, but I would go out of my way if I see somebody struggling to lift something. I would offer to help. Like, I would not do that anymore. I'll tell you right now, I would not do that anymore. I'm sorry. I just too many times have somebody even tried to sue somebody that's helping them in various situations, and I'm not trying to get in any type of scenario with any type of individual that for something that is just silly and just isn't warranted.
I don't think. Well, I don't want to badmouth. I don't think it's the whole of society. I think people are ingenuine or generally pretty nice and pretty good, and people appreciate you helping. But it's just such a scary precedent. You just don't know. This guy's did nothing.
The judicial system has set up and incentivized lawsuits.
Yeah,
that's why. That's the honest topic that I'm talking about as to why I don't go out of my way to help as much as I used to, because I saw how much they really incentivize it. If somebody wants to try and make a quick buck and make a lawsuit, sadly they can in this system.
Yeah, we're very litigious
based off of just complaining, "Oh my God, this person hurt me by helping me." What? It hurt me by doing this. Oh, he saved your life. He helped you out of a burning car. Well, he broke my arm in the process, so I'm suing him. What?
I'm sure that has happened too.
It's a prime example. That absolutely has happened. I'm not saying this is the same situation, but at the same time, if that child was falling, should he have let that child fall to the ground and hurt himself?
If.
Again, we're talking about an if, but if that child was falling off of his mother's lap, should he have let that child fall to the ground? I don't think there's an answer, especially because of the way the judicial system is set up. Because now, all of a sudden, he tried to kidnap the child. But he's saying, well, the kid was falling. I was just trying to stop him from falling. It's the only reason why I touched the kid. And now he's in jail for 47 days.
That got me thinking about the whole, completely irrelevant, the whole Spartan, when King Philip II, he was going to invade Sparta, and he's like, I could sack the entire region if I wanted to, and they responded back, if. Like, something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but anyway, let's continue on with the article. Miller told local television station WSB Atlanta that she and Patel were tug-of-warring, so Miller is the mother, with the child. However, surveillance footage released in April contradicts Miller's account. Patel told reporters outside the detention that he was elated to be out of law enforcement custody. Quote, I'm a positive guy, so you got to take it one day at a time. A lot of ups and downs, Patel said. But I knew we had a team outside helping me. One day we'll see the light, and then we see today. It's
definitely positive thinking.
He's taking it more positively than I would, man. I don't know. If I was in some media like firestorm like this, I would just start going off. I don't think I could really control myself, but he's doing a good job.
That's what lawyers are for. Lawyers usually help direct you with that type of stuff.
According to the arrest warrant, Miller's 2-year-old had been sitting in her lap while they were in a shopping cart for people with disabilities, something that she shouldn't have been in the first place.
She even admits herself. Yeah.
Patel had allegedly grabbed and pulled the child away, which, again, all right. This act placed the mother in fear for her and her child's safety, the warrant said. Surveillance footage of the interaction shows Patel speaking to Miller while she's in the scooter. Miller, who is not disabled, has said that her children enjoy riding in the scooter. At one point, the 2-year-old slips from Miller's lap. Patel told law enforcement that he had asked Miller where Tylenol could be found. We've all seen this before. Patel, let's skip a little ahead here. Patel is still fighting the case, but for now he said he's excited to have a home-cooked meal. A trial date has not yet been scheduled. I hope there is no trial date. This whole thing from the footage should be thrown out. This woman is clearly lying. Since Patel's arrest, he's drawn support from across the internet. A petition for his release has gotten more than 47,200 signatures as of Tuesday. I'm going to look that up after the video's done. I will sign that petition. So, I think this is...
Yeah, charges should definitely be dropped, and a countersuit should be filed.
Oh, shit.
For defamation.
Jimmy Darmody got arrested for SA. That's not good.
And last I checked, it actually is a crime to make a false report. Whether she actually gets... It's hard to get someone charged for it, but it is an absolute crime to file a false report.
The problem with making a false report, it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to go do like a month in jail? This guy could go to jail for the rest of his life. And she's, oh, you'll do a month in... It's like, no, a false... I really do believe that false reporting on people should carry the same weight as anybody of what you're accusing them of.
You're accusing them
of. It should.
Yep.
You know, you should not be able to just go in and just be like, oh, no, I don't agree with that at all. But listen, to Mr. Patel, I hope
Especially if there's evidence of the false report.
I hope the case gets dropped, and I hope this mother goes to jail. I really do. I guarantee you she won't, because she's probably a single mother of 2 kids, and she'll play that little victim card or whatever. But this guy didn't do anything, from what I can tell, he didn't do anything wrong. Maybe there's a different angle or something where, you know, he grabs the baby and he's shaking him upside the head. I don't know. But from what I can see, that didn't happen. So,
yeah.
Moving on into a little bit of a lighter topic, we want to talk about GTA 6. Now, there's been a lot of controversy surrounding this because I think it was, what was it, last week, Duke? That,
yeah.
They announced GTA 6 will be delayed.
By a year. Original delivery of the game was scheduled for 2025. Now it is 2026.
Which is actually really crazy to me. It's like, you know, what was I doing back in 2013? And it's like, what was it, 2012, 2013 it was released? It's like, that's so long ago to think about. Yeah. Kids who are 13 years old have never played a new GTA. Which is wild.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I know there's some controversy surrounding, you know, there's going to be a female character as one of the leads, which I know a lot of people are like, I don't know about that. I don't really care about that personally. But
yeah, I don't care about any of that stuff.
But more so, people do definitely care that GTA has been delayed another year. Plot of GTA 6 has been revealed. Set in Vice City, Jason and Lucia have always known the deck is stacked against them, but when an easy score goes wrong, they find themselves on the darker side of the sunniest place in America, in the middle of a conspiracy stretching across the state of Leonida, forced to rely on each other more than ever if they want to make it out alive. I don't know. I don't really so much care about the plots of GTA. I think I don't know. What was your favorite GTA game?
I'm a fan of 5 because of how big it's become and what you can do on it. I love the multiplayer aspect. Griefers and trolls suck, but I love being able to have my own motorcycle club. I love being able to have my own business. I love being able to do garage after garage after garage. Just the customization options.
Story-wise, though. I mean,
story-wise, I would say Vice City was pretty fun.
Vice City. That was
San Andreas was fun.
Yeah,
the story on those two were pretty good.
I like that one. 4 was okay, except I accidentally killed Roman at the end. My friend told me, I was like, what do? I don't want to kill Roman. And I'm like, oh, do this mission. And there was the one and he got killed. I was like, God damn it, no. Who am I going to go bowling with? My cousin? No. I was very upset about Roman dying. I was like, no, I have no one to bowl with. Who am I going to go to the strip club with now? Roman's gone. All right, you want to read this out real quick? It's a little thing from Rockstar. I will be right back.
All right, Grand Theft Auto 6 is now set to release on May 26, 2026. That is a whole year after the original estimated release date. We are very sorry that this is later than you expected. The interest and excitement surrounding a new Grand Theft Auto has been truly humbling for our entire team. We want to thank you for your support and your patience as we work to finish the game. With every game we have released, the goal has always been to try and exceed your expectations, and Grand Theft Auto 6 is no exception. We hope you understand that we need this extra time to deliver at the level of quality you expect and deserve. We look forward to sharing more information with you soon. This is ultimately what I thought was the issue. Too many times recently has companies released a game and it wasn't done. And it ended up being a shit game. And it ended up being a lackluster experience for the gamer. And we ended up hating the company for it. I really hope Rockstar is working on making it a perfect game for release. Not a perfect game. Nothing can be perfect. But making it a good game, a solid game, a great experience for the gamer.
I apologize. I wanted my prop for this segment, but I always forget about my props.
So I was just touching base after reading this little segment that I was basically assuming that Rockstar was delaying the game to make sure that the game was ready for release and wasn't buggy. Because too often, a lot of developers rush to release the game, and it's just not a complete game. And then there's just bug after bug after bug. They have to release updates to fix all the bugs, which I'm sure Rockstar will be doing regular updates because of the multiplayer features.
Yeah.
But realistically, they want from day one that game to be a good game. And I don't hate that. I hope they release a really good game. I wish it wouldn't take them a whole extra year to do it. I don't know why they think it's going to take them a year to do it. I guess we'll just have to wait and see if it's worth the wait.
I honestly have so much less faith in the gaming industry with the way it goes. Because completed games have not come out for like the past 15 years. And it used I used to complain about this all the time. My friends used to be like, "Oh, why are you complaining about this? They're going to fix this. They're going to No, I want to buy a full game. I want to buy the whole game.
That's exactly what I've been talking about. It's too often they don't deliver a full game on release. Like, well, what's the point of releasing it if it's not?
What was their last release? Was it Red Dead 2? I don't think that was a full game either. They didn't have the online set up then, or they had very minimal online. It's like you couldn't really do too much.
It was one of those games that had to get updates almost immediately, a month later, so that basic features were accessible and usable.
And I think it's going to be a lot the same. GTA 5 when it came out
we're paying $60, $70 a game these days. Like, I don't want to pay $60 for an incomplete game. That's insane.
Yeah, talk to the Halo fandom about that. I mean, it's like, geez, they're still trying to update, I think, not the Master Chief Collection, the new Halo. I don't even know. I used to be so into Halo, and now it's like, I just hate it.
And these days, with buying different customizations or features, or, how much money is spent in GTA 5, I can only imagine how much they're going to make on GTA 6. If that game's not complete, they're going to get a lot of pissed off people because, like you said, Red Dead Redemption 2, all these other games that they've been working on,
multiplayer when it came out.
When they do that type of stuff, you're pissing off and you lose customers.
Well, and then people are like, well, the story's good. It's like, yeah, the story's supposed to be good. That's what you're buying.
It's supposed to be. What are you expecting? Like, why is it even a discussion? It's not supposed to be bad.
We've gone to this place where we reward these video game companies for like doing what they're supposed to do. It's insane.
Yeah, for doing the basics. It's like, hold on. They cost twice as much as they're supposed to, or as much as they used to, and you get an incomplete game. Where's the cost? What are you getting for the cost? I don't get it. No. You have to wait months after you pay for the initial game, after you actually physically get the game, but then you still have to wait a month or two for updates to come out so that you can actually play the game the way that it's supposed to be intended.
To kind of wrap this up here, although not really wrap it up, I wanted to actually pull up the series history of GTA and actually see the first Grand Theft Auto and the second Grand Theft Auto, which were completely different. Vice, I think 3 or Vice City was really like the current iteration that we know GTA as today.
That's where it's, developed.
But yeah,
into what it is.
2001, GTA 3 came out. Vice City came out in 2002. San Andreas was 2004, so okay, it's a 2-year gap. Even San Andreas, the GTA 4-year gap, that's not bad. And then there was a 5-year gap between 5 and 4. But since then, there is now going to be a 13-year gap. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
People will be 13 years old.
One thing I'll say is, with GTA 5, they've expanded it quite a bit. So it is still relevant to this day. There's still probably millions of people that still play that game regularly. It is a fun game to play, but for it to be existing for 13 years and them not make a new one, especially for the story, because that's always been one of the biggest parts of all Rockstar games, is the stories they have with it, not just the multiplayer features. So I don't know why they've decided specifically to wait 13 years to release a new story.
If this gap keeps going franchise. Like it is, it will be
20 years, something like that?
2052 before GTA 7 comes out.
GTA 7's
and I'll be playing it from the nursing home, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. That's insane. That would be insane.
Back in my day, we just had GTA 5. All right, Grandpa, let's get you to bed.
I remember when you used to watch GTA overhead. Overhead camera view.
Well, yeah, I never played those, but I think GTA 1 and GTA 2 were like that. But I never played those. I had a roommate in college who would download all these games. He was like, "Oh, you got to play GTA 2," and I'm watching. I was like, "Why would you play this, man? This is not like." I guess
especially once graphics started getting better. Yeah, it was one of those games where
I didn't play 3 or Vice City either. Fun, I got into it in San Andreas, but
it was still blockish, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't have
especially for the graphics that were out at the time.
Well, even I don't have a whole lot of GTA experience if you think about it. It's like I've only played really San Andreas 4 and 5 because I was a little too young for 3 and Vice City.
One of the good things with Grand Theft Auto, it's not always necessarily a continuation. Sometimes they introduce different characters. Well,
it's never a continuation.
A good amount of times they introduce different characters, so you don't need to necessarily play 3, 4. 5
when I was looking at 6, you can go there in GTA 5. The Grove Street's gone. It's all Bola territory now. So I don't know what happened there. But
a lot of things have changed. Yeah, like I said, they're ever expanding right now with 5, and I'm sure they're going to continue to expand now that they've delayed 6, because they got to make the gamers and their fans and who's stuck around happy until 6 comes out. Because little by little, they're going to keep losing more money.
Which I think they've done. I mean, like I said, they have expanded the online. They got the CEOs. They got the club features. They got the businesses. I think they put in a casino, but I think even the casino was put back in like 2019. They haven't really done.
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that. Maybe it was later, but they haven't done they're just not updating it anymore. And I would highly doubt if anyone's playing it anymore.
No, they definitely are. I don't know the exact numbers, but I know
maybe it's still popular. There's still stuff to do. Like I said, the online is great, but
it's still relevant. They still add. They do special. Well, what it is they charge money for all these fancy cars, fancy vehicles that you could get, different weapons. They do different things for the holidays. That's how games stay relevant. Is they go with the calendar year. And, it's holiday season. Let's do some holiday stuff. It's Easter. Let's do some Easter stuff. It's summer. Let's do some summer stuff. So they just stay relevant by updating the stores and stuff like that to try and get every cent they can from the customers.
Those are like seasonal,
they're items at best. They update the items.
What more can they really do with it? Maybe they got some ideas, but yeah.
With what's already out there, you need to build a new city, a new island, or remaster a city or an island.
Or just come out with a game faster. It's like Elder Scrolls is going through the same thing. They haven't come out with an Elder Scrolls since that's even worse. 2011 was when Skyrim came out. Yeah. And I don't even know. I know
Elder Scrolls Online is probably one of their biggest ones, and that's been out probably going on 20 years now.
I don't know if that's by Bethesda. Is that by Bethesda?
Elder Scrolls Online?
Yeah, I don't know if Bethesda's really involved with that though. So
fairly certain.
Okay, I could be wrong about that. But yeah, anyway, so that's our. Let's move on from that. GTA. Hopefully it's good when it comes out. I'll probably be getting it, but long time to wait. So our last topic here is about the something we were talking about on a previous episode. Oh wait, no, this is still GTA. I can't play the trailer because it's going to be copyrighted.
Supposed to be getting out.
I don't know. It's just more about this guy who looks like a surfer bro. Oh, we got some explicit sex content, which of course GTA is known for. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really care what the trailer looks like. I think it'll be fine. It'll be GTA. Hopefully it's worth the wait. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, we're going to move on to this. There's been a big contention with tariffs and Trump. Sorry, I just wanted my props for that segment. I'm going back to...
Just a touch back, yeah. Elder Scrolls Online is owned by ZeniMax, which is a sub-company of Bethesda.
Yeah, that's Bethesda. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're not used to online gaming, so it makes sense that they would, outsource it to somebody else. We talked about this on a previous segment with the tariffs. Everyone's going crazy about it. Everyone's saying Trump is nuts. Oh, he can't tariff people like this. It's unfair, blah, 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 blah. So we're going to get into this segment. But first, this is an older clip from Carolyn Leavitt, current press secretary, talking about just some, and these are just some of the tariffs that she's got receipts for, and how insane it is that we're getting ripped off to this extent from pretty much every country we do business with. And all the leftists and liberals who want to say, oh, it's completely unfair, these people are our allies. Well, last I checked, you don't screw over your allies.
Mm-hmm. Look at the unfair trade practices that we have. 50% from the European Union on American dairy. You have a 700% tariff from Japan on American rice. You have a 100% tariff from India on American agricultural products. You have nearly a 300% tariff from Canada on American butter and American cheese. This makes it virtually impossible for American products to be imported into these markets, and it has put a lot of Americans out of business and out of work over the past several decades. So it's time for reciprocity, and it's time for a president to take historic change to do what's right for the American people, and that's going to take place.
So basically, it's the double standard of we invite everybody into our market, we let everybody flood our market with goods, and yet they don't want us involved with them at all. And if we are involved with them, they're going to tariff the crap out of us. We can import anything we want. We can't export things without getting completely killed by it. Yep. And here's what Trump was saying as of 20 hours ago. He wants to talk about India is the, I guess, the most recent person to completely fold on the tariffs, which is, if you read his Art of the Deal, this is essentially what he's doing. And everyone's, they're losing their minds over it, but I say this is a good thing.
India, as an example, is one of the highest tariffs in the world. We're not going to put up with that. They've already agreed. They would have never done that for anybody else but me. We don't have to sign deals. We could sign 25 deals right now, Howard, if we wanted. We don't have to sign deals. They have to sign deals with us. They want a piece of our market. We don't want a piece of their market. We don't care about their market. They want a piece of our market. So we can just sit down, and I'll do this at some point over the next 2 weeks, and I'll sit with Howard and Scott and with our great vice president, who has done a really good job. We have some good news to report on a lot of fronts, but JD will be there and Marco, and we're going to sit down and we're going to put very fair numbers down, and we're going to say, here's what this country, what we want, and congratulations, we have a deal.
I don't know why all the leftists are losing their minds over these tariffs. It sounds fair to me.
We're just trying to make it equal trades.
We should have equal trade all along. It's all these other people.
It should have never gotten to this level. 700%, 100%. Like these tariffs that are against the U.S. is just astronomical. And now, just because we're trying to get them fair. Back to look, we don't want to charge these tariffs for you guys. We want it just to be equal.
We're bleeding hearts for the rest of the world. Nobody's a bleeding heart for us. Yeah. It's like, I think it was, what was his name? Carter, right? Was it Carter? Jimmy Carter? He gave away the Panama Canal for $1. Why? That's worth, I guess, $2 trillion or something like that. How many American lives were lost building that canal? You're going to just give it away? Lunatics.
There's some.
And they'll either say, great, and they'll start shopping, or they'll say, not good. We're not going to do it. And I said, that's okay. You don't have to shop. Now, we may think, well, they have a right, that maybe we were a little bit wrong, so we'll adjust it. And then you people will say, oh, it's so chaotic. No, we're flexible. But we'll sit down and we'll, at some point, in some cases, we'll sign some deals. It's much less important than what I'm talking about. For the most part, we're just going to put down a number and say, this is what you're going to pay to shop. And it's going to be a very fair number. It'll be a low number. We're not looking to hurt countries. We want to help countries. We want to be friendly with countries. But you keep writing about deals. When are we going to sign? When? It's very simple. We're going to say, in some cases, we want you to open up your country. In some cases, we want you to drop your tariffs. I mean, India, as an example, has one of the highest tariffs in the world. We're not going to put up with that. And they've agreed already to drop it. They'll drop it to nothing. They've already agreed. They would have never done that for anybody else but me.
I agree with them on that. Because nobody else was even asking for it.
Yeah, it wasn't even a topic.
Nobody else wants to put fair regulations in any of these countries while they bend us over, basically. Trump is the only person who really was like, hey, this is unfair. We should have, we shouldn't try to screw over our allies. I totally agree with that. But for some reason, if they screw us over, that's totally cool. And yet everyone's losing their minds over this. I don't get it.
It's just fair business practices. That's it.
Yeah, fair business practices, exactly.
We're going to put down some numbers and we're going to say our country is open for business. And they're going to come in and they're going to pay for the privilege of being able to shop in the United States of America. It's very simple. It's very simple. So I wish they'd stop asking, how many deals are you signing this week? Because one day we'll come and we'll give you 100 deals. And they don't have to sign. All they have to do is say, oh, we'll start sending our ships right now to pick up whatever we want or to bring whatever we want. It's very, very simple.
Sounds simple to me. I don't know. I think it would. It's not going to be good for other countries, unfortunately. But it's not only not good for other countries because they're so used to ripping off the U.S.
Yeah, for too long
that's got to stop.
Advantage of us.
So,
tariffs.
Pretty much in the same vein with what we just, watched. Donald Trump announced that India will drop tariffs on U.S. imports to nothing, which is, hey, that's good. Why should they have insanely high tariffs on us and we can have nothing on them?
Yeah, they had a 100% tariff against us. Now they're going to drop to zero. That's a win in my book.
U.S. President Donald Trump, amid ongoing negotiations for bilateral trade deal with India, revealed on May 6th that India has agreed to reduce its tariffs on imports in the United States to nothing. In a White House media interaction alongside Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, Trump emphasized the significance. Oh, we got to revisit that story then, too. Maybe we'll do that on Friday. The whole Mark Carney meeting thing. Getting off topic. Trump emphasized the significance of this agreement, particularly in light of India's historically high tariffs. India, quote, India has one of the highest tariffs in the world. We're not going to put up with it. They've agreed already to drop it to nothing. They have already agreed. They wouldn't have done it for anybody else but me. End quote, said Trump. India offers zero tariffs on key U.S. imports. As per a previous report in Bloomberg, India has reportedly proposed eliminating tariffs on select U.S. imports, including steel, auto components, and pharmaceuticals. As part of an ongoing bilateral trade talks with Washington, the zero tariff offer would apply on a reciprocal basis and be limited to a specific volume of imports. And I don't know. I think that's very fair. It sounds fair. And I feel like any other countries who are opposing it really are just, hey, they're so used to screwing over the U.S. They're like, well, why can't we continue to screw over the U.S.? And it probably will affect their economy a little bit, especially on their imports that they're getting from us.
Oh, yeah.
But it's got to be the way it is.
It should have been done years ago. It should have been done years ago.
I mean, or it never even should have gotten out of hand to be at this point.
Yeah. Just because there's going to be an adjustment period doesn't mean it shouldn't happen. Should have been done years ago, or should have been done slowly. It should have been done little by little, but nothing was done for the last couple decades.
I really am against, America. I do believe in this whole America First movement. I mean, I don't like us getting involved in foreign wars. I don't like anybody ripping us off with these tariffs and stuff. It's like I don't like the flooding of people coming in across the border, which Trump has pretty much taken to zero since taking office, which is good. Now we just got to figure out who's here illegally and move them all out of here.
Get rid of the ones that's already been here.
Yeah, but the whole point is, it's like, you got to care about your own country before you can care about anybody else. It's great to care about other people, but you got to take care of yourself first, foremost, and always, or you're going to be screwed.
If your country's not taken care of, how are you going to help anyone?
If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Under the reported proposal, India would allow duty-free imports of certain industrial goods from the United States, but only up to a fixed quota. Any imports beyond the agreed threshold will continue to attract standard duties. This conditional offer is seen as part of India's efforts to accelerate progress on a long-awaited bilateral trade agreement with the United States. This was already covered. The proposal was reportedly made by Indian trade officials who traveled to Washington in late April. Their visit was aimed at fast-tracking negotiations on the trade deal, which seeks to significantly boost bilateral trade and investment. So I'm not going to step toward a $500 billion in trade. I'm going to go down more to the timeline of the agreement. The pause on the 26% reciprocal tariffs, which had initially been imposed by Trump on April 2nd, is set to expire in early July. Under this 90-day reprieve, the tariffs on imports from India have been reduced to 10% as part of a broader trade negotiation with countries excluding China, which we're still at war with them with that, but somebody's in a cave eventually. I really do believe that. I mean, they can't go on forever. We can't
business
just keep
is
hiking
business.
we're going to hike our tariffs so high that we can't do business with each other. Yeah. And maybe that's going to,
Either business will end or somebody, or it'll be 0 for 0.
They say the straw that doesn't bend breaks, but if you bend too far, you're already broken. Both countries are working towards an interim understanding that would lay the foundation for a final deal. The outcome of these discussions could significantly reshape trade relations between the U.S. and India, with the potential for even greater economic collaboration in the future. All right. So that's where we're at right now, but it sounds like India is on board with playing ball. It's not the first country. I don't think it's going to be the last. And I see it only really as a net positive for the U.S. Fair markets, really should be applied across the board to anybody we're doing a trade with. We should not have to pay really any more than anybody else.
This is just another example that his tariff campaign is working. And things are adjusting in the right direction.
And we're going to continue to cover the tariff thing. Like I said, I'm very interested in it. I think Trump's art of the deal is playing out perfectly. I really think he, I saw an interview once from I forget her name, the Shark Tank woman, Barbara or something. She's very into real estate. I guess she knows Trump from real estate dealings, and she said, these are her words. He's just like, he just understands how to make deals like crazy, and this woman knows how to make deals like crazy. So it's a big compliment. I wish I had that clip, but I don't. But anyway, that's gonna wrap up our show for today. I don't have an ending segment that's a little think piece or anything like that. Duke, you have anything more to add?
No, I think we had a pretty good show with some nice topics today. Like usual, I got to keep that trend going. I enjoyed our conversations today. I'm looking forward to actually being able to go outside and do stuff with my son. It is not raining for what seems like the last 4 or 5 days. It's been raining, so I'm excited. Believe it or not, me as a 38-year-old adult am excited to take my son to the park.
It's always a great feeling.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I think I don't know. I'm thinking about Dave Portnoy for the next thing. You know anything about him or?
Well, let's not talk about the next thing now. Let's end the show. I think we'll get our brainstorming session later on.
All right. If you are still tuned in, hey, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and tell us what we can improve on, what we can do a little better. Tell us what you liked, what you didn't like, yada yada yada.
Absolutely.
And
feedback
I guess
is crucial.
For this is what, our third episode now, or the third one we've actually made live.
This would be our third official episode. Yep.
All right. Well, this has been the Duke and Dutch podcast or show. We're not really sure what we're titling it yet. It's a working title. We're working on it.
Yeah, we're throwing things around.
But yeah, thank you for tuning in, and we appreciate the support. And
have a good day.
I think that's it. Yeah, I think we're good. All right.
Yeah.
Later.
Peace.